The Optic freaking God Squad is officially here. Let's talk about it. Yo, what's up, guys? This is Why Not Be Reckless, aka Why Not Be Casting, one of the HCS commentators, analysts, and grassroots content creators, and we have another HCS report where today we're talking all about Optic Gaming and what happens when you take 4 MVP caliber players, stick them on a team, and tell them to make it work. Well, you got Optic Halo officially announcing their roster. You have Legend, the man, coming over from France onto that Space Station Gaming roster where they were the most dominant team that we've potentially seen in the HCS history. On top of that, you have Bound, his duo, his roommate. These two running together, that LeBound combination was absolutely crazy. Bound has been known as the movement god for so long, the damage dealer, the playmaker. Love me some Bound action. Love me the LeBound combination. And then we got to talk about Renegade. Hasn't won an MVP just yet, but we know when he's playing at his best, he's putting on an MVP performance and potentially the best player in the league. Renegade at his best is scary. The demon is there. And then, of course, you have Formal again, another MVP caliber player. Great mind for the game. Great damage dealer and pretty simple gameplay. Plays a little bit more of a more of a back role compared to a player like Renegade, Bound, and Legend. So his job is going to be to keep that player alive. Like we talked about in podcasts before, he wants to be that eco type of player. He wants to be communicating. And of course, when it comes to the 1v1s, you already know Formal is winning those. So you got 1 MVP so far, the reigning MVP, and 3 more MVP caliber players, and you have the Optic God Squad, the team to beat. And man, is 2025 going to be so exciting. It's official, guys. Everybody kept asking me in my Twitch chats and the YouTube, are any of these rosters official? Is this happening? Some people even questioned if it was real, which I don't know how we can be going into 2025 and questioning it, but questions are gone. Optic is here, and I want you guys to let me know in the comments down below what you guys think of this roster, and why don't we know what Formal thinks of this roster as well? Because while playing some Marvel Rivals, the announcement looks like it came out, and Formal had a little something to say. So why don't we jump right into it? Let me turn up the audio just a little bit so y'all can hear it better.
Yeah, chat, the cat's out of the bag, bro. The roster's announced.
Yeah, look at that.
People kind of knew before, but yeah, we got the squad. We got the squad, and we pulled a lot of strings to make it happen. And if I didn't get the squad, I definitely wouldn't have competed again. So, like, this very specific squad was the only one that I would play with. We have a podcast coming out, I think, pretty soon. So, Tusk is the coach. Yeah, they'll all be moving to Dallas. All be in content. The whole Optic package,
Yeah, and let's dive right into that real quick. Formal talking about the fact that this is the roster that he wanted and potentially would not even be competing to this day, or not even competing for the Halo HCS 2025 season if he didn't get this specific roster, and that's huge. He talked about in the podcast before, he used Space Station Gaming for an example, talked about that he wanted to be that eco-type player. Well, you got Bound, you got Legend, you may not have Stellar, but you do have a freaking Renegade. And now he gets to play with a team that he's put together, that he's drawing up. And his Optic roster is going to be so fun to watch. And I also want to mention on this graphic, hey, we got to show Tusk some freaking love, baby. Tusk ain't on the graphic. I don't know why, because Tusk not only a fantastic player, but coming in as a coach is going to be incredible. Like, Tusk was already an in-game type of leader, in-game type of coach in-game. Communication was on point. The man absolutely does his thing, but now to free up his hands and his mind to focus more on the macro, more on the bigger picture, as opposed to trying to be that coach while slaying at the same time. Like, I think that's truly going to unlock Tusk as a coach. And we saw what he did with that phase roster early on in HCS seasons. I think it's going to be just fantastic with Optic. And hey, say for example, one of these players, you know, I don't know, maybe Legend wants to go back home and hang out with the family during the offseason a little bit more, or, you know, maybe something happens where you need to play with a substitute player, which we've seen before. HCS rules have been, well, in most cases, you can either play with your coach or you could play with the sub. Now, if you play with your coach, you get to keep like your pool play, you get to keep all of those seedings and whatnot. But if you play with the sub, they've had to go to open bracket. We've seen that time and time again, like the Native Reds, for example, where that's happened when Druckwood couldn't make it onto North American soil. Well, I mean, to have a professional player like Tusk as your coach that can step in at any given moment, that sounds like pretty good value to me. And with Formal, you know, Formal's been playing every game under the sun. Like, he's been playing the Apex, the Call of Duty. Recently, he's been fantastic in Marvel Rivals. Well, he might want to continue to do that. And in this place, maybe Tusk can slide in and play with the roster as they continue to try to build chemistry and get ready for the 2025 season. Either way, I think this team is fantastic. I think their coach is fantastic. And I think Optic really do have a bright future. And, I mean, I'm going to go out and say it right now. They're the #1 team to beat. Obviously, the SSG roster is a real thing. Obviously, Shopify Rebellion's roster is a real thing. And obviously, the competition is tough. And I say it all the time. No team is unbeatable. Everybody has a weakness. Everybody can lose on any given Sunday. But right now, Optic are the freaking team to beat. And that's your HCS report, guys. Let me know in the comments down below what you think. Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that good stuff. And until next time, oh man, it's only 9 days into 2025. It's gonna be a good year.